Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently successfully invaded over here, and we now have to try to push out a little bit and solidify this position. Before then, though, I want to take a quick peek on these naval air combat raids things that are going on here. So we sank a convoy, that's great. This is a light cruiser, fantastic. This is another convoy, a destroyer, not bad. Nothing there, and then that is another light cruiser. So we're definitely seeing some significant naval damage being dealt there. That is absolutely wonderful. So at this point, the question is, can we hold Palembang with this amount of troops here? Well, we're going to have some supply issues here. We do have some supplies flowing in. Not many, but some. So let's tick forward here. And we're going to be seeing attacks here, for sure. We've taken over this position now. So that is, of course, very good for us. That will allow us to spread out a little bit. And the question is, do we want to build anything there? I think the answer is yes. Let's get some land forts put in there. Do we need any naval base there? Probably not. Keep in mind, these guys don't have supplies either. They have no source of supply at this point. There's these up here, but that doesn't count. They're not connected. So that seems absolutely wonderful. Okay, so let's just continue to press through here, and we'll get all of these guys pushed out quite soon. In theory, anyway. So Palembang is going to get fortified, and at this point, have we gotten... Yeah, we've gotten a level of fort in both of these locations. So that's a very good sign. I think we're absolutely golden here. I don't see any major problems at this moment. So that looks good. Now, we do have a pair of research slots available. I would like to go for mine warfare here, so we'll just work on both of these. Excellent. That'll do for now. Now, we've got this 1949A infantry division, and this isn't one of our main infantry divisions. I'm going to put this out into this Coast Guard, and then we're going to grab one of our military districts and put that into this invasion theater, like that. So that'll be absolutely fine for now. Now the question is, how are we doing on these attacks over here? Looks like we are taking this position. We now have pushed out to the point where Palembang is no longer under threat. That is a huge deal. Absolutely enormous, in fact. So it's going to take a while to get this upgrade completed. Actually, not that long. It must have been being delayed due to combat. But now it's going to upgrade nice and quickly and beautiful. So we can see, yeah, we're overstretching this supply line. That is deeply unsurprising. For the time being, let's just get these guys pushed out of here, and then we'll get all of our forces solidified over here, and we'll push on up this direction at that point. So we'll see how that ends up going. So far, so good, though. So these guys are going to stack wipe pretty early on, all things considered. They should start stack wiping any moment now. Yeah, there they go. Fantastic. This guy has fallen ill twice now, so that's exciting. These guys apparently have access through our territory. That's interesting. That's very interesting. So I'm going to send one of these infantry units up over here. Like that. And hopefully he's actually still going there. Yes, he is. Perfect. So now we've got our tank divisions here, and their goal is going to be to offensive line straight up to here. We'll see what we end up getting out of that, but that is their goal. Keep in mind, we can always buy this territory if we need to, so that's not the end of the world. So we're definitely making solid progress out over here. No major issues at this time. Yeah, we've got them pushed back over here, so that's looking good. We'll have this taken over. Oh, there's this out over here too. We should come over here. There we go. So that's absolutely fine. Now we're going to probably need another Coast Guard division, or rather another Coast Guard unit down here to guard this area. And to that end, we should probably consider getting coastal forts built in these locations, although maybe not at this priority. This is fine. This is fine. So for now, that looks absolutely A-okay. And we'll just continue to push in over this way. Beautiful. Okay, so this is all taken over now, which means that we can, of course, put in another set of coastal forts right there. So that'll be fine for the moment. Everything is looking good here. We're about to get these guys cut off. Eventually, anyway. Yeah, they're going to retreat here in a moment. There we go. Now they're cut off down here. So I want these tanks to immediately come here and stack wipe this. That'll be perfect. There we go. So they will not last too much longer. And I really don't think at this point, 2 convoys here, I really don't think at this point that there's significant naval threat here. So I'm going to start moving, and we don't actually care about it, even if there is significant naval threat here. We're going to start moving one of our navies, and specifically that is our submarines, up to the Sea of Japan. So we're going to pull them out of the Straits of Malacca and send them to the Sea of Japan. And I'm going to grab all 280 of these bombers. They're going to move up to this airbase in Korea. And they should arrive there eventually. Yeah, they're on their way. So that sounds good. They're going to start also doing naval strikes in the Sea of Japan in preparation for an invasion up over here. Now, I'm not actually sure what the political situation is over here. We need to look at that map, but I see a battle happening here. So that's understood. Okay, so the communist states of America have pushed up here. That's understood. So that's fine for now. This is stack wiped. The question is, are we going to beat these guys here? And the answer is absolutely we are. So that's fantastic. Okay, so these are Coast Guard units. This is part of the same category? Okay, that's interesting. So I'm wondering then, yeah, minimum division's 80. So we're going to need to have another unit down here. That's understood. That's absolutely fine. So just pushing our way northward for now, and I want to see about... Oh, these guys are not assigned? I thought for sure that they were assigned here. Apparently not, though. Diesel-powered emergency pumps have finished. Let's see, what else do we have here? Actually, nothing here that we can do. I did notice that we have, under artillery, this that we can research now due to completion of a special project. And that looks absolutely fine. So these guys are not going to last too much longer out over here. This will be absolutely wonderful. I do want to take this supply hub, and I want to motorize that. But we're also going to want to start building a new supply hub somewhere around here, although I'm actually going to set that inland, I think. So right here. There we go. Yes, they're very close together, but that's fine. And this railway was put at the bottom of the queue. I don't want it there. We'll do something like that. Okay, so that'll start getting underway. That looks good. And we'll be able to provide some amount of supply out over this way, but it's going to be a little bit grim for right now, and that's absolutely fine. So checking in up over this direction, our planes should be here, and they're not actually engaging in this, are they? Maybe they are. Do we have combat going on over here? Yes. Okay, beautiful. So that looks good. It looks like the British fleet is up here now, and that's fine. We're absolutely delighted by that, in fact. To that end, I want to come up to this airbase, actually, and I want to create additional air wings. So that's going to be additional advanced maritime patrol planes. We've got lots of these. Okay. So this is going to be, yeah, something like that. 413 of them. Let's go. Set them to naval strike, and off we go. Fantastic. So they'll make their way over here, and we'll have a lot more bombers over this way. We can definitely see that we're losing some planes up here, which I'm not terribly surprised about. It's absolutely fine. So back down over this way, the question is, when are these guys going to be ready? 21 days. Sure. So that seems reasonably fine for now. When are we going to have another unit of Marines finishing? Well, very, very soon, actually. So that looks good. Supplies are still pretty tight out over this direction and getting tighter as we move further away. So let's take a quick peek at what the supply situation might end up being here. Okay, it's going to be awful. So that's good to know. We're just not going to have supplies up over this way. That's, I suppose, fine? Fine-ish. I'm not very happy about it, though. So we do need to get naval forts queued up over here, and let's make sure that these are prioritized up at the top. That looks good. And then we're just going to slowly push in over this direction. I'm not too concerned about this. We just need to whittle down their supplies. We have some supply flow, even if it's not great. And they have none. They have no supply flow whatsoever. So that looks good. Out over this direction, we can see we lost 10 planes here. Here we lost 9 planes. Here we lost 9 planes. And here, we didn't lose any planes. We just inflicted a little damage. Okay, sure. So we're definitely taking some plane losses up here. I'm guessing this is probably due to... Oh, we took down the HMS Queen Elizabeth, a 1936 heavy ship. Cool. So that's definitely very good. This is due mostly, I think, to the British fleet that's up here. We might be getting some amount of air contestation from Japan proper. I'm not entirely certain on that. But it's probably mostly due to that fleet. So for right now, we're just continuing to press in over this direction. Nothing too concerning here. I would very much like to get this taken over, and can we launch this now? No. But we don't have the intel to do it either. So let's get these guys out on patrol for right now. They're currently repairing in Singapore. Okay. We could have them be on naval invasion support. This repair job is not going very fast, is it? We can have them be on automatic split off. And tell them to go anyway. And now they're going to go back to port. There we go. And that seems approximately what we wanted. So now the question is, can we launch this? We still lack sufficient intel, because they want air wings here. Okay, so we don't need that many air wings. Let's see what we can put in. We can put in a few of them here. So we'll just do something kind of like that, and they're going to come out over here once again on naval strike. So they'll make their way out over here. That will get us the intel that we need to launch this, although I don't necessarily expect this to, you know, fully succeed. We do have a modern tank brigade here. I'm going to assign this in our... Let's see, that should go here, should it not? It should. And then we can put in another division here, so that's going to end up going here. Perfect. And we can get them a leader. That'll be fine. We can promote this guy. Sure. Okay. And then I do want to start up... I was going to say I want to start up a naval invasion elsewhere here, but we're actually not in a position to do that. So we could start planning a naval invasion somewhere up over this way. I'm wondering about the status of naval bases up here. There just aren't any. There is one up here, but we could actually do the naval invasion like this. That's a theoretical viability. What naval base up here would it launch from, though? We don't have one. So that's a bit of an issue. For now, let's just have them start walking up over this direction, and let's start building a naval base right about here. Okay, so that'll do for now, and we'll get back to that. Wonderful. So down over this direction, supplies remain tight, and this is not surprising. But I want to have our infantry launch an attack here. Let's go. This is while the tanks are recovering somewhat. But supplies here are the primary issue. So that's absolutely fine. And at this point, can these guys fire off? No, we don't have the naval supremacy. We have 0% naval supremacy here. So that's understood. What I want to do now is, this is in the Sea of Japan, but I actually want our submarines to be up here. We can keep our bombers here, potentially. Enemies laid mines. Okay, that's noted. Why is there naval invasion support here? No, don't do that. You're supposed to be naval invasion supporting here. Not up here. There we go. That's much more like it. Now, these guys, they're supposed to be on patrol up here. There we go. Now I think we're correctly assigned. So that looks good. We are continuing to get some sinkings down over this way, I think. Maybe not. No sinkings in that batch. Okay, that's fine. And then up here, we're still struggling a little bit. That's for sure. Why is this naval invasion support up here again? Navies in this game are so weird. These are supposed to be different. So I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to select these. We're going to have to create a new fleet, and they are going to be assigned to naval invasion support here. And they're going to need a new admiral. There we go. And then this is no longer going to be here and is only going to be up here. We can increase the size of this up to, I don't know, maybe like 50. And that'll take some additional submarines, so that looks good for the moment. And then, what else do we have here? We have destroyers. Those could be merged in here, theoretically. And I'm going to do it. So I'll just move them right on in. And now, the question is, are these guys... Did they launch and just give up? Because they're now no longer assigned here. I'm assuming that they launched and failed. Fair enough. So we managed to push a little bit here, and what I want to do now is I want to have these infantry push in right here and cut them in half here, essentially. Eventually these tanks will arrive, and they will assist in this attack. But they're not here yet. There they are. So now we're going to attack here again with our tanks. And that's still not going very well. It's going okay. Supplies are not great here, but we're working on it. We'll get there. We are getting upgrades done in Palembang, so we're now able to pull more supplies in here, which is nice. So eventually we'll manage to push through here. Eventually. But it is not yet. So this is fine for the moment. I want to check on... Okay, that's a modern tank brigade. That should go here. Sounds good. And have these guys arrived up over here yet? No, they have not. So these guys are going to be planning a naval invasion from here to here, like that. It's only 6 units, and that's understood. We're going to follow them up with probably some of these guys, would be the plan.
Come on.
In fact, probably both of these armies would be what we'd follow them up with. So this army and this army. And we can just get them into position over here, and that's absolutely fine. So we can order them to come in over this way, and we can remove them from these orders, I think. So this is Army 13, and this is Army 7. So this is Army 13 here. I'm actually just going to go in and delete both of these frontline orders. These guys are mostly not going to have orders other than the ones that we just gave orders to. They're just kind of chilling. It's okay. For now, that seems relatively fine. Now let's check in over here. We managed to take down 2 destroyers, 1944 destroyers even, at the cost of 5 planes. I like it. We lost 8 planes here. We lost 17 planes here. Okay, these guys are doing pretty well in their anti-air. Now it's understood. So that's absolutely fine, and for the moment, I want to hop back down here and see how this is going. It's kind of mediocre right now. Although these guys are currently retreating, and we should take this position. So we're going to head right on in there. And I want to have basically everyone here launch an attack like this. Okay. So that'll do, and we'll just continue pushing them back over this way. Now, in terms of supplies over here, I would like to get an additional hub about here. Yeah, that's still pretty close to this existing hub, but we're going to want it. So let's get that going. I want it right now. By the time it gets built, we may not want it, to be clear.
Come on.
So that's absolutely fine. We'll get that underway. Okay. So we've got these guys out over here, and we're continuing to try to launch attacks out over this way. That'll be ready to launch here soon, but I don't necessarily expect that to be a particularly successful attack. We'll see. And then there's this out over here, which is just a little awkward. Yeah, that would be coming from the People's Republic of the Malay Archipelago, and they just walk out over this direction. In theory, anyway. I don't know how that would actually end up going. It would be interesting. For now, though, I do want to have these guys bump it up to aggressive attack. There we go. Yeah, supplies are going to be very, very tight out here. Until such a time as we finish up this hub, which is actually only in a few days. So that'll be decent. 2 military districts here, and for the moment, I'm just going to leave them. We don't technically need them anywhere right now, and to be honest, we might want to stop recruitment on these here and these here. I don't feel like we need them, so let's just do that for now. I might regret that later, but for the moment, I think it's okay. We do still want additional Marines, though. This is our 3rd unit of Marines, and that'll be absolutely fine. So that looks good. We should have this supply hub here finishing up in moments at this point. So that looks great. It's now the 29th of January. This is going to finish, in theory, on I think it was the 31st? Yeah. Okay. The supply hub just finished. Let's motorize that. It has connection to capital. And we now have supplies flowing through here, at least a little bit. It's a little out of range, but it's not the worst thing in the world. So that looks good. We'll be able to have some amount of supplies going through there. And once this hub gets finished, we'll be fine up here in terms of supplies. So that's absolutely wonderful. No issue whatsoever there. Now, as far as this goes, what's our naval situation here? We're currently repairing our submarines. Okay, that seems fine. We have not managed to get our Marines up over here yet. Where are they? Okay, they're marching on over. It's going to take them a while to get there. That's understood. So they're going to be ending up over here. And that's where they're going to want to start from. They can launch this as soon as we have the air superiority, or rather the naval supremacy, which we'll see what happens once we get all of these subs repaired. Apparently that's our current mission. So that seems fine. For the moment, I'm not terribly concerned about that. I'm guessing we ran into some mines or something along those lines. So that's absolutely okay. And I'm going to have these guys launch an attack right here. We'll just push them right on out of there. Are you attacking? You should be attacking. There we go. And let's bring these 12 tanks in as well. Beautiful. So they're now retreating in opposite directions of each other. We might get overruns here. We'll see. No, they're getting pushed back this way now, I think. Yeah. Okay, that's a bit unfortunate. Ah. The People's Republic of the Malay Archipelago is hostile? No, this is German Republic. That makes more sense. Hang on. This is a Coast Guard unit? Okay. Things are kind of wild over here right now.
Push yard.
Well, let's have these guys move in here and get that stack wiped. That's actually a lot of units that just appeared here. We did stack wipe a few units, and I would like these guys to come up over here like this. Okay, Modern Carrier just finished. I think that was a special project. So we can grab, like, the fleet submarine. Sure, that seems fine. Land cruiser, do it. What else do we have? Intercontinental bomber. We don't actually have the breakthroughs for that. No breakthroughs for any of that. So that looks good for now. And then no project available there. Sounds good. So we're making some progress here. The main question is, this has now been stack wiped. Are we going to beat these guys here? We'll find out. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so the answer is no, we did not beat them there. So let's pull all of these lads off over this direction. Let's get rid of these orders. And these two units here are going to now be frontlining up over here. At least for the moment. Keep in mind, we're not at war with any of these other people, so that looks good. So we'll make our way on up, and these guys are not going to last very long. They'll stack wipe in just a moment here, and this section of the war will be over. Now, this has been taken over. That looks fine. So there's no problem there. We're going to leave this be. They're going to take that. We can always buy it later. That's not an issue. Okay. So this is now done at this point. We'll see who gets this, but it doesn't really matter. What's our infrastructure situation here? Hang on. Why is this so low? Did we get all of these land forts built? Maybe. This is remarkable to me, that there's this little in the construction queue. We absolutely need to get things queued. So we're going to put some things there, and then I'm going to do land forts on the bottom half of this. So these are low priority constructions, but we absolutely want to get some of these going, I guess. Okay, so coastal forts are pretty high priority. Land forts are low priority at this moment. So we can get some of this queued up. We don't need to do all of it. We just want to keep our construction going. So something along the lines of this will be good enough. Okay, let's check in on the status of civilian factories. We apparently can't queue any of this in the People's Republic of the Malay Archipelago, so we don't actually control this correctly. That's understood. It's not terribly surprising. So the same situation is true with the infrastructure. That's okay. Okay, cool. So these guys are now freed up. Let's delete these orders. And for the moment, the question is, what do we want them to do? And the answer is, we don't really have an answer to that yet. For now, of course, it is about time to put a cut in here. Oh, look at this. The Japanese are invading over here. I wonder if they're going to kick the Russians out of here. That would be convenient for us. We will see if that happens. But for now, it is time to put a cut in, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we'll take stock of the situation and start thinking about what our next moves are going to be. We do need to get Japan out of the war, we need to get Australia out of the war, and we need to get the British Empire out of the war. That last one's going to be interesting. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Aurelio, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video. And as always, I will see you all next time.